kind of breaks this game. Like everything else holding equal form with your Gyro Razor, the Storm Spirit's good. It is going to be on copy to kind of try to leverage the strength of this hero in this matchup.
I mean, absolutely. We'll see if Copy can make that happen. I mean, he's been playing pretty damn well over the games we have seen, so see if Copy can kind of keep up the great performances we have been seeing. See if we get some early level 1 team fights as well, Jonathan, because God knows we love him. Of course, Gunnar did not end up going for the Necrotic Webs, by the way. He does go for the Feeding Frenzy, which I believe is the more popular facet anyway at this point with the Broodmother. Makes enough sense.
That it is. It's not going to be the best of times for that facet until you get a pipe, right? Like, maybe if you manage to, say, pick away at the Clockwork, I think that's the easiest target to go for without your Broodlings dying. So you should try to feed as much as possible off of Insania if he presents himself. But then, you know, it kind of draws the question, like we saw in some of our games yesterday, especially the Talon games. You know, if you're killing this Clockwork over and over again, does it really matter? And the answer, for the most part, doesn't feel like it feels like a no. It does not matter. So I don't know. Like, I'm curious to see if Gunnar still has an idea for Aura, or if he's just going to go all in on damage down line. We'll see.
Speaking of Gunnar, he's currently being chased down. Saying he would have loved to get within range to perhaps land a Cogs, but doesn't quite get there. Be fine though. We'll see if he can get that later on. Of course, we'll start with the mid lane as per always, where we do see Nisha on his mid Invoker against Copy Storm. I do believe this is actually an Invoker favored matchup. Nisha, obviously, with his Invoker, going to be feeling quite confident, I'm sure, against Copy Storm Spirit. Any points to add here, John, for this mid lane match?
It's going to be a pretty defensive lane for Copy. You don't have that threat of double overload into level 3. You will just play with your static remnants, stand back. Every time you get clipped by EMP, it's just a big win for Nisha. And if Nisha manages to get denies, of course, your Invoker is just going to scale up a lot faster. I'm not too sure if Nouns will be able to commit rotations in for Water Rune Securals even, as it's not important for Nisha. It's very important for Comp to have that topped up bottle. But whether or not you have room to leave these side lanes is really what begs the question here. And with how aggressive Liquid side lane setups are, I don't see too much relief coming in for Copy, at least not until maybe at least the Power Rune here.
What's bottom lane? Saberlight going to be up against Yuma and Fly, who will have the support of Boxy with him on that Pugna that we have been seeing quite a bit of. Pugna very effective against dealing with this Razor at the very least, but it does feel like Yuma should have a relatively free time nonetheless on this Razor safe lane. They haven't really tried to get too aggressive against Saberlight or Boxy quite yet. But it seems like they're more than happy to just sit back and secure those few early levels. I wonder when we do start to see Yuma trying to get a little bit aggressive. And in fairness, he doesn't really have anyone to really like lock anyone down or slow anyone down. So you are basically relying on your plasma field slow to really get that static link off and get a bit of a duration going.
Yeah, it's fairly annoying to play into this lane offensively for Liquid anyhow. You do have the Satyr Convert here for Fly, constantly burning mana, so you're not able to just spam out and try to try to get some poke damage onto Yuma. I would have said for Liquid, level 3 would have been a nice start for them. Maybe you go 1-1-1 on your Underlord, you get value point and decrep, try to decrep Blast with a pit, but easier said than done. Boxy was poked quite hard as well when he was walking through the camp. One thing with Pugna, not the highest HP or armor, so poking trades never feel good even when you accidentally walk into a camp. Still, we'll take a look at how the other lanes are developing. Of course, up top, you've got Gunnar and Lelis up against Mikke and Insania. And the Gyrocopter Clockwork lane, very naturally aggressive. Right, you run up, you battery assault, you get some rocket barrages off, you get some free poke with a flak. Gunnar can try to sustain through, just sitting in the webs, farming up. And not too much Lelis can do to trying to slow it down. At least you can stop aggression with Deadshot and the Calling Slow. So the full commitment out from Liquid isn't as easy to pull off as you'd want. But the lane for Gunnar is not going to go that great. And this matchup is just not the best feeling in the world. Once you have Spiderlings, it can kind of be easier, but not by much.
Well, they see the opening to just chase Boxy down with that static link, and Yuma immediately will take it. Boxy just had nothing he could really do about it either, so having to die in first blood already going the way of Yuma. A very strong start already for Nouns. This bottom lane, it's not going to get much easier either. Like, the thing is with this Satu Mind Stealer, like, even just the mana aura you provide a Yuma so he can just continue to spam out his spells is going to be so frustrating for Sableye and Boxy to try and deal with. And naturally, Fly just can't really be dealt with at all right now on this pos 5 Chen, so yeah, the off lane is going to be a little bit annoying, it seems, for Liquid.
And it is. Which is a little bit of a shame, you know. I playing into that convert again. The mana aura is great. The mana burn onto a low mana regen hero like the Underlord feels awful for Saberlight. He doesn't have the constant Firestorm to just poke and shove out the lane consistently. And there's only so much box you can do when you're not applying that free harass. You can't even just walk up and Nether Blast as well, just because of the plasma field, creating some good spacing here for Yuma. A great pickup for the side of Nouns. Again, a very smooth start so far for Yuma. Still a little bit quicker on Mika in comparison on the Gyrocopter, of course, but Gyrwood Flak obviously is just going to farm a little bit quicker without too much mana commitment out, and the aggression from Gunnar is even less. Like, it's a very passive lane up top, which is fine as long as you're soaking up EXP here for Gunnar, and Lelis is doing a fantastic job at the least of just basically leaving that as a solo lane for the most part for Gunnar to get some free EXP into that 6.
That's what you want. Bottom lane, Saberlight has to TP away. Static Link was a bit too much for him. He'll just go right back towards the fountain. So not even TPing to the tier 1 tower. Just wants the full reset. He's having a tough lane. I think Saberlight understands he's going to be playing a bit of a catch-up game here on this. Underlord is top lane. Lelis now going to get jumped by Insania. Gunnar will intervene, however, and of course Insania eventually will be forced to back away. But not before doing quite a bit of damage here to Lelis. Lelis, though, again, is going to be perfectly fine to just regen up slowly with his tangos. And that top lane is going just swimmingly for Liquid. Like, unlike the off lane, Mika is having a pretty free time. As Saberlight, again, is going to be chased. They've even got the with the Hill Troll. Saberlight, is he going to get dived? They'll leave him be. They just wanted to at least force a rotation out from Insania, who does end up cancelling the TP anyway. And Saberlight, he does salve up, but it's just... This bottom lane, it's just getting worse and worse. It just feels horrible.
And it does. The best thing you can hope for is maybe some stacks to come out here for Saberlight. They haven't really built up the most. No stacks in Triangle whatsoever. So the recovery process for the Underlord, not going to be too quick. But at the least, you know, the items the Underlord needs to be relevant isn't too expensive. You just need some time to farm up and clear out waves later on. So long as your other cores are getting some good tempo, and you are. Again, Nisha on the mid has been pretty much uncontested. You're not completely locking out copy, but it is a little bit, it's quite a bit better for Nisha at this point now as well, having a free ride into those power treads. Gunnar, despite not dying, you know, is having a rougher lane in terms of CS in comparison to Saberlight. This only gets relieved once you have those spawn spider links up. We are inching towards that point, but until then, your Broodmother is also out of the equation. So both off lanes just not having the best of times. There is a recovery time for both. A little bit of a rotation up, though, to try to hunt down Gunnar, but he is a pesky spider.
Not going to be very easy to catch him, but they do want to just steal the Wisdom Rune away, and it seems like Nisha will be able to secure one for himself, and Boxy will get the other. So, happy days here for Liquid, denying both Wisdom Runes away from Nouns. Nisha will just stick around. He'll just go for this tier 1 top tower while he's at it. They do have a siege creep, which makes it a hell of a lot easier to push this tower down. So it seems like he wants to fight bottom lane instead. Coming in to save Saberlight's life. Copy does need to zip away, but Nisha's just try to chase it a little bit. Won't commit. We'll just go back to the mid lane instead. Looks like they just really wanted to make sure that Saberlight did not die another time, or... Well, I suppose for the first time, in fairness. He hasn't died quite yet, but, you know... You don't want to make his game any worse.
No. They still have enough room to clear out top anyhow with no relief for Gunnar. So top tier 1 already gone on the Broodmother lane. Not the best, not a great feeling for the Brood. Obviously, she'd want to get into 6, get the Spiderlings, shove out lanes, get some free space, hunt down supports. That timing's kind of thrown off here for Gunnar. And when it comes down to it, again, you're having a very free time right now on Mike. He already has that Falcon Blade with the power treads, has the Crystallis Ags lined up as well. Typical build-up nowadays for the Gyro. For Yuma, it's going to be a bit slower overall, just because you're a Razor. He is going for maybe something a little bit quirkier, a full Mjolnir setup here. So going all in on the Lightning, at the very least from the Razor. Still, Nisha.
Bottom lane going to go after Yuma, but Yuma, he's going to pop the ulti and try go for the man fight. Insania has joined in as well with a very nice cogs out. Yuma, though, still trying to fight, but does go down. Mickey able to secure the killer's fly. Does at least take down Boxy, but it seems like he will be joining his teammates. As Fly will also drop with a very nice rotation out from Team Liquid, basically bringing the whole team down, just to ensure that they find those 2 kills.
Yeah, pretty big kills. And killing off the Razor is already nice enough. You get a bit of a bonus and calling down Fly as well. Still lacking EXP because of the Wisdom Rune take coming out from Liquid, so you don't have... You're nowhere near threatening back to heal. Still...
Can they kill this Invoker? A Deadshot does land. Nisha's dropping very low and he's gone. Very, very nice pick off here by Copy and Lelis. Meanwhile, though, oh, Mickey goes down. Bottom lane, Gunner able to secure a kill into the Gyrocopter now. They're even looking towards Insania. In fact, and the Deadshot landing again from Lelis. Gonna ensure they find a 3rd target here against Liquid. Very nice rotations from Noun.
I like that. You had enough room for Gunner to just clear out top tier 1. He takes the gate, comes down in, knows that the full commitment was already made, especially with Nisha getting picked off at mid, running right in, trying to prevent Copy from just free farming. Punishment is severe from the side of Nouns, and that does equalize the game once more. It actually drags Yuma to #1 in net worth, and again allows this build up into the Maelstrom. Still jumping mid.
Well, they're trying to. Copy. Dropping a little bit low, but it looks like they're not really going to be able to dive in too much. Shout out to our highlights guy who does not turn off the highlights. Very, very pog. It's a hard decision to make, Jonathan. Do you turn them off? Do you not? It's a hard one. Right decision was made today.
Yeah, it's still going. We can look at that jump onto Nisha. Gate just a little bit too slow and channeling right through. And yeah, this is going to be your consistent issue with a Storm, right? Like trying to pin down Copy when he has Ball Lightning ready. It's not going to be an easy task. It allows him to just zip aggressively in, have the confidence to zip out, knowing there's no real hard stuns to be worried about here. And this Storm is just going to get peskier and peskier. And this is Copy without any real items. He has Power Treads, he has a Null, a Robe. That's it. Once he has Kaya up, once he has a little bit more mana regen on hand, with a few more galvanized stacks, this Storm is just going to be dancing around your backline if you're not too careful here from the side of Liquid.
That he will. That seems like the pace of the game does slow down just a little bit. Mickey is still at the top of the net worth board on this Gyrocopter, but you aren't too far behind on Yuma. Just about 100 gold behind, in fact, on the Razors. So very, very close. It's much more of an even game than I would have anticipated before the game started. So far, 5-2, but a very slight net worth lead the way of Nouns. But Insania going to be chased down by Gunner, but Gunner does not really want to commit all the way because you can't see where Nisha is. And said Gunner going to go back up towards the top lane and start pushing that in, I'm sure. It seems like this is probably the stage of the game where both sides just kind of accept that they want to sit back and farm those initial core items before they really get moving as a unit once again. I mean, at the very least, you want your Kaya up on Copy. Nisha wants his Witch's Blade up. You know, you need those little items up before you get going.
That you do. I do feel like you're in a very happy spot for Nouns because Gunner is allowed to play a Broodmother game, right? He's taking over top. That was the 3-man movement out to try to pin down the Broodmother with, again, your most stable stun being Hookshot. Not the most reliable in the world to catch a speedy spider around. So you're always going to be happy when time commitment's made to try to counteract top. Whereas in comparison, you know, Liquid don't really have a laner AFK pushing in. In fact, they're just going to go for a nice steady push onto the mid as well here.
I mean, maybe a few Spiderlings lost, but Gunner's going to get most of them out of there just fine and just chipping away at the mid-tier 1 tower every time he gets a chance. My style of Broodmother as well, John. You know, you just farm the jungle, and if you see the opening to go after the tier 1 tower, you just take it. I like it.
Yeah. It's nice, safe, calculated. It buys space on the map. Like, no one's able to really try to go forward for a smoke. You're just stuck defending. You do have, again, that level 6 already up on Insania with a hookshot, but no one really to connect with outside of maybe Nisha at this point, who, again, still needs the gold for at least the Witchblade, 100 gold off at the very least for that timing. I mean, you're also happy with your gyrocopter farming up. Mike can clear out top jungle. You're not that far deep on Gunner to take over the top forward jungle there as well. So you're happy enough. You're getting that build up. You're always going to farm a little bit faster than Razor will. You have that natural edge on the gyrocopter, although it's not by much, but it is still there to set the build up. The issue is your jungle space is just slightly smaller. Again, Gunner's going to eat into some of those camps, cut into your efficiency a little bit, and that does negate a little bit of that farm speed advantage you do have there for Liquid. Still a bit of a smoke out from now. It's Copy set to go with a Kaya here.
Oh, and Sania does break the smoke. A very nice tank of the gank here from our +5 Clockwork. Of course, they are still just going to go ahead and take the kill for themselves, but much rather see Insania die than say Mike on the gyrocopter, who was just north of him at that moment. But with that kill, Nouns can start to look back towards that mid-tier 1 tower if they so wish. Gunner is nearby, and of course you are seeing Fly and Copy starting to set up once again. Insania will be back up in just a moment though, so maybe they decide better of it, but I think they could probably just move in and take it. And it seems like they will. Gunner will just try to take care of it himself, and he does. Can he get out, though, is the question. The answers look like it's probably not. So Gunner will trade his life away for that mid-tier 1 tower. And you can make the argument it may not be considered that worthwhile, but I think when you are playing as a Brood, you probably want to see those objectives get taken pretty fast.
That you do, and it also forces out the Fiend's Gate from Saberlight, so you know there's no map threat for at least a minute 20. It's a lot of time to just feel relatively safe, right? Like, even if a smoke play comes out, the Underlord has to be on hand for that next 2 minutes because he can't just gate across and join his team. So it's going to take a lot of time away. Again, it takes a little bit of that threat for Liquid to play around the map just a bit more. And you're still fairly happy. Still a bit of a gate movement out, though. Mika heading down bot with Insania. Could try to make some play. They know Yuma's been camping around bot, but the tier 1 is still there to protect them. The scan is perfect from the side of Nouns here.
That it is. The Liquid still just casually taking out the bottom tier 1 tower, not too threatened by the presence of Nouns if it ever does come, and it seems like it will not. Nouns are looking towards the top tier 2 tower now. They start applying pressure on those side lanes and forcing Liquid to come back. Thing is with Liquid, I mean, everything seems to be going according to plan anyway. Like, Mike is still completely free farming on this gyrocopter, and he's just about to have the full Aghanim Scepter up, which is when you start to get maybe a little bit concerned about the farming pace of the gyro. I suppose if you're Nounser, you kind of remain confident in your own carry being the Razor to be able to deal with him in the middle of team fights, but it really isn't that simple when you're up against things like a Clockwork, Underlord, and Invoker that can just kind of lock you in place mid-static link.
Yeah, and I think the big combo breaker here for Nouns is Copy. Like, yes, all of these things are annoying for the Razor. It's not annoying for the Storm, right? And if you're committing all of that in the Razor, the Storm is going to have a free time to rip that backline apart to try to, again, maybe burst down Boxy or burst down Insania on the Clockwork or the Pugna. And the Razor is suddenly very happy to just stand there in the middle. I mean, Yuma's kind of ready for that style, right? Like, he goes Maelstrom into full Mjolnir with nothing in between, no stat padding, no Sanjin Yasha, no Manta, no BKB, straight into farm with the active working very nicely with Thunderhead, right? So you have the Mjolnir active, the static charge popping around if he is focused down in the middle, and that's now you talked about. And then he's still going to have Storm Surge popping around on multiple heroes as well when Eye of the Storm's open. So as long as he kind of gets stats to back that up, and he's going back for the BKB Manta, at that point, you know, that's exactly what Yuma probably wants to happen in the fight. All of that commitment onto him, free up the game for Copy and Gunner to sneak around, and you can kind of work those fights your way once that's up.
We are seeing Gunner take a bit of damage here from Saberlight, but eventually we'll be okay. The Spiderling's not so much, but that's fine. And Gunner gonna just leave the building now, noticing that Liquid are making their move over.
Dire are scanning.
Liquid not really gonna find anything up at this top lane, sadly. Instead, Nouns seem to be drawing lines out to go through the mid and bottom lane. Liquid still hunting, could try and go through the twin gates, or even could think about Roshan if they so wish. And it seems like they're going to try and go for it. I mean, they do have the side gunner up on Mike, so it makes enough sense to try for this. And it's actually not going to take them too long anyway. So it's a pretty big win for Liquid, because now they're nowhere nearby to be able to actually go for this Roshan fight. They'll have to go for the post-Roshan fight if they so wish, and obviously that has the added risk of fighting against the Aegis of Mickey. But they're still coming. It seems like they want to give this a crack. See if they can find perhaps a straggler on the way out. Liquid though, they look prepared for this. It's almost like they're ready. They seem to know they're coming. Fly, he'll have his smoke broken. And with that, Liquid, they've seen enough. They're just going to retreat back to their own side. Gunnar will reveal himself as well on the Broodmother. But nobody will make the jump.
It's just an awkward time for the side of Nouns. You're not quite fully ready to play into how big Mika is. This is his key spike, like you mentioned, right? Ag's up, Crystal is up, going for the Hurricane Pike next, but just this alone with Alacrity is a major threat. So,
can they lock him down long enough? I think they can now with the cogs. Zania will be able to secure that kill for himself now on the clock. A very nice one, picking off that Broodmother once again. So that'll make it a 6-4 scoreline so far. I do wonder as well whether Liquid are intending on making a lot of use out of this Aegis on Mickey. Like, they are already getting started on this top tier 2 tower, but do you keep going after this objective, John, or do you just kind of keep that farm game going?
I think you kind of sit back and farm a little bit more. You're definitely not threatening high ground. There's still a mid-tier 1. You could maybe look for another tier 2 off the back of this, but anything more is just a little bit optimistic at this point. Although Nouns do not feel prepared still, despite the net worth deficit only being about 1k. You know, you have your full pipe up on Gunnar, doesn't quite have the Boots of Bearing just yet, but still has 2 drum charges at the very least. You are still a ways off from Yuma getting his full BKB as well, and I think that's the key one. It has to be this Razor BKB that allows you to start to play, and until that point, you're not really willing to fully commit in the big 5v5 like Liquid is here.
Can they catch him? Cold Snap Tornado is out. Copy trying to get a zip away, but it's just too much. The Cold Snap and the hook shot. Lelis getting caught mid-4 staff by the hook of Insania. And that'll be another. Lelis eventually surely goes down. The Sablite still chasing. Lelis still alive, but the Pit of Malice is now back up. And they'll get rid of him. No problems here. As 2 will go down for Liquid. Things are looking very good for them now, Jonathan. 3k advantage their way. They're still holding onto the Aegis for another 2.5 minutes. And it seems though they're even going to get started on this mid-tier 2 tower. Why the hell not? In fact, Mickey's going to give up on that and instead go down bottom lane where Yuma's getting jumped right now by Nisha. If they can find this Razor, they'll get rid of the mana pool completely. And in fact, Nisha's just annihilating Yuma. Yuma even getting blocked off by the damn neutral creeps. But did you see that, Jonathan?
Yeah.
The neutrals, they blocked his way.
That is just painful. You're slowed down, you're in a choke point, and Meteor's coming in, just have no way of dodging that meatball. And again, Liquid, they were making all of these plays off of a 1k lead, right? And it's just a difference of timing. Like, now it still needs BKBs. We're looking at not just a Razor BKB, but also Copy on the Storm, going for a BKB, feeling the need for it now as well, as they have been pretty good in just getting this Chainstone combination onto the Slippery Storm. So it's going to be more time. That now, again, it's just not fully ready. Your team fight potential as well isn't particularly amazing. Your AoE control in comparison to Liquid just isn't that high. And yeah, this is just so... It's nasty. An ice wall through the tree line and then the neutrals blocking you as well. Like, what do you do?
Oh, so it was perfect too because there's a single tree there and both ogres went on either side of the tree line, so we just had no choice. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, well, yeah, what can you do? It happens. It does happen. Liquid still holding on to that 3k advantage. Still have an Aegis for another minute, looking for another fight. They're pinging out Copy, but Copy's going to go for the zip TP away. He'll be perfectly fine to escape this gank attempt. But you are at the stage now where Liquid are controlling most of the map, and the thing is with this Brood Chen lineup, it doesn't really seem to have really panned out. I want to say, John, it's not looking too strong at the moment.
No, it certainly isn't. I was expecting a little bit more with a pipe timing from Gunnar, but it hasn't really tied in with... It came out around the same time as Fly's mech as well. and they just weren't able to group around with this team fight idea of durability, purely because Mike was just allowed to free farm a little bit too much. There goes another tier 2. So they do manage to take 2 tier 2s off the back of this Aegis as it is expiring. Might be able to catch out Copy if he's not too careful, but does dip away in time. Again, big issue for Nouns is the space to farm. These BKBs are shrinking even more. Like at the least, Yuma's BKB isn't too far off. Copy is still 1,000 gold away. You're also looking for Gunner to get a BKB now. And it's just so much time you need. And there's not enough space to really soak it all up. None of your cores are willing to sacrifice at this point. 1 BKB up, they'll try for a smoke play on Nouns for that.
I mean, you've got to try something. Nisha is around, zip forward. They're going to find Insania, but that is not really the target they were hoping for. Just a position 5 clockwork for that smoke. But on the bright side, a kill's a kill, and Yuma will probably appreciate the gold very much, but you would have much rather found a bigger target than that. Rest of Liquid just going to happily go back towards their Dire Tormentor and just take care of it quite easily. And I mean, you look back at Mickey and the Gyrocopter, John, he's getting to that concerning point now with his farm where he'll have the Daedalus up soon, he'll have his own BKB up soon. And I'd say once those 2 items are up, you are pretty much in dire straits as Nouns, because, well, the damage output does tend to get a little bit insane once the full Daedalus is up.
And it can be. It's all down to whether or not you can actually static link that Gyrocopter here for Yuma. He has no way of gap closing on top of the Gyro. It's going to be a little bit strange if Mike presented himself first as well in these fights, so just running up to the Gyro doesn't feel like something that's easily achievable whatsoever here for the side of Nouns. And that's where their entire strat kind of gets pinned, right? Like Yuma has to static link the Gyro, counteract that farm, counteract that damage, and try to cop all of the attention with his BKB to allow Copy to dance in the back. We haven't seen this situation come out yet. Perhaps with some of these additional BKBs coming in, you could start to hope for that. I believe Copy's BKB should be done flying out now. So that's 2 BKBs in.
Oh, Copy.
At least.
Will get hooked by Insania, but no follow-up to it. Saberlight was not able to get within range for a Rod of Atos into a Pit of Malice. In fact, Copy, he's going to jump Boxy on the Pugna. Nisha is around to help out, but Boxy looks like he may just get locked down here by the side of Nouns, and well, Boxy actually just trying to life train his way out of there, but it's not going to pan out. Meanwhile, though, Gunner's in pretty big trouble. Gunner will go down pretty easily here to the rest of Liquid. Nouns, they were trying to get there in time to help out, but again, Gunner was just way out of position.
And he was. Yeah, I don't think they were coming in to help Gunner. It was more like Gunner wanted to join in on that gank. Was still playing around top, and they've got the wards here to spot on Liquid. This Broodmother, Gunner's been isolated a couple of times too many, right? Like he's going full in aura, he's got pipe, he's got boots of bearing, but he's being picked off away from his team. They're not able to actually use these auras. Like, we haven't felt the impact of the pipe in these wider team fights. We've seen the drums be really impactful for the solo pickoffs Gunner was making earlier on, but not anymore, considering how clumped up Liquid is playing. So it doesn't feel like we're getting as much value from this Broodmother pick as you'd want for the side of Nouns, and Liquid have managed it perfectly well. They've managed to threat the Broodmother early push along with a Chen quite nicely. Now for Nouns, you're hinging on this late game scale to try to match the Gyrocopter. You're hoping for the refresh to come out eventually for Yuma, but there's a lot of issues. Full Ags for Saberlight coming in, a Pit of Malice on the gate usage is going to be insanely annoying. Like, we have seen this Ags pickup on Underlord just ruin games for the enemy team. And I'd expect the same here from Saberlight. So what was already a rough set of fights for Nouns, it could get even tougher, but they'll try to smoke again. Double BKB timing is online here.
If they can make this one work, I mean, the 2 BKB should make all the difference. Surely. We'll see Saberlight up the top lane, but he has Nisha right nearby him in the Ghost Walk. In fact, the rest of Liquid are rejoining up at top lane. Seems like they are well aware that Nouns might be coming for them. Keep in mind, Roshan is also available in about 25 seconds, so of course both teams are starting to set up for the Roshan attempt. Liquid just going to take their sweet time, not willing to just casually blindly run into Nouns. They'll go for their own smoke. Looking to try and move in from the south. They're going to see Mickey first. Mickey has his BKB ready whenever, so he's not an easy target. Copy does get caught by a bit of malice. Meanwhile, Yuma has jumped in with the static link onto Mickey, but it's already over. They did not get that much damage out of the gyrocopter. It's not necessarily the greatest fight start for Nouns. They're still going to try, but their BKBs are wearing out very soon, and they've really got nothing done. Liquid now can just have complete free reign. They'll take down Gunner. The rest of Nouns just need to run. You just kind of saw, as soon as the static link just was cut off after 2 seconds, the fight felt just very over.
That it is. You can't afford for Yuma to, again, just run up onto the gyrocopter. You have to get some control in first. And that's a lot of pressure to put onto mainly Copy, right? Like, it has to be the Storm with a Zip Vortex. You don't really have any other source of stun. Maybe a Fear, a good dead shot out from Lilith can provide you a few seconds opening as well, with a calling on top, but that's easier said than done for sure. Your most reliable is the Storm at the moment. Opens up the Roshan for Liquid, as that entire movement for Nouns was set up for Roche, as they managed to catch out Lelis while all this happens as well.
He'll get a TP away though, he's alright. Roshan, of course, does go the way of Liquid. Daedalus now completed on Mickey, and what with the Aegis and the Roshan banner, I'm sure Liquid are looking to start approaching high ground here, John. You wouldn't quite blame them. I mean, they are in complete control of this game. You could also just opt to play the farm game until Mickey has, say, the butterfly up next, but with the way things are going, it just doesn't really feel like he needs it.
No, it's pretty unnecessary. They're already at a very strong point for their game. You have Alacrity anyhow from Nisha if you really feel like you need more damage here on Mika. She does have that good buff up. And for Nouns, you just don't have control. Not enough control whatsoever here. They'll still walk into the enemy jungle.
Oh, man, that's a very risky jump in from Copy. Peter Malice going to lock him down, forcing the BKB early. And just look at the damage. Copy! He's alright. He'll avoid the Sunstrike that was incoming from Nisha as well. But you just kind of see how desperate things are starting to get for the side of Nouns. Just so quickly does he have to pop that BKB to try and get out of there, and even then he almost dies to Mickey's damage output. It's all looking to be a bit too much right now for Nouns. This is another reason why I don't necessarily like Chen in this meta either, John, if I can just kind of add this point, because if you fall behind like this, the hero just does nothing.
Yeah, I mean, the healing's not the highest. The creep army doesn't feel the most impactful at that point, although the Ancients are nice with a shard. I think the bigger issue is that you really didn't get impact from Gunner, outside of maybe drawing that 3-man rotation top a couple of times. The aura timing was decent, but it never really connected with his team. His movement was just kind of cut off. Liquid had a really good line to punish his Brood. He's split pushing now, but mid's already gone. They're not going to stop at just one Rax with 3 minutes on the Aegis here from Mika, and there's no real cooldowns to wait for on the side of Liquid. And this will just keep going.
I mean, Gunner is trying to rat the top lane, but Sablelight's going to be there to defend pretty much by himself, and he'll have Fiend's Gate up in 10 seconds. So if they need him, he can pretty much be there at any time. Copy currently being hunted as well by Insania, but Insania does not have hookshot available, so Copy, Zip TP is going to be more than enough to get away. And of course now, the side of Liquid, they are lacking a creep wave to continue going through these bottom racks. But I just don't think they'll back off. Like, you just don't need, you really don't need to.
Nope.
They still have the Roshan banner as well on Boxy. It's not like they've committed it yet.
Yeah, you really have no reason to fear here. Nouns, I mean, how does Nouns even start the fight at this point, right? Like, it's just so much pressure to put onto the Storm to look for the backline, and that's constantly grouped up from Liquid. No one's splitting apart. There's no easy pickups for the Storm to hunt down. If there is, it takes a 5-man rotation to kill off Insania, and again, that's really not enough. You want to chain kill off supports into cores. No opportunities like that whatsoever. Mika just digs into the high ground. 4 to 5 forced out. No refresh left for that one. And this could be the beginning of the end if Nouns finds no way to shove Liquid out of here.
They're going to try. I mean, Copy's jumped in onto Boxy, but Boxy has the Decrepify, so he's perfectly fine. As Gunner's rushing forward, but look at the damage!
What?
With the Alacrity, Mickey's hitting for about 350 per right click without the crit being active, so Yuma needs to get out. It's just not safe. It's not, even with the BKBs up, it's just not safe enough. Copy, jumping in again on Boxy, but the Glimmer Cape is going to nullify a lot of the damage. Still, Boxy does die. The thing is, you've lost 2 lanes of barracks now as nouns. And if Liquid really want to commit for the third, they definitely could with another minute on the Aegis, but instead they're looking for another fight. Copy's going to be okay. They could try onto Mickey, but you've got to deal with him 2 times. In fact, it's Yuma that is being hunted right now. It's Copy jumping back in, but he's completely out of mana. Pit of Malice going to lock him down. They won't jump him though. It's up towards the top racks. They still have 45 seconds on this Aegis.
That they do. They still have BKB on Mika as well. BKB still ready on Nisha. No BKBs on Nouns, so they'll try.
I mean, they'll try on Saberlight, but he's a tanky boy, and Copy just gets deleted. Mickey looking like he wants the reset. We'll just stand his ground. Fair enough. He was a bit low on mana anyway. But now they might be forced to back. Mickey, we'll see if he wants to pop the BKB, and he does. They'll play it safe here, Liquid. No need to try and, risk throwing the game. They've got a 16k advantage. They've got complete map control. They'll back off and wait another day.
Yeah. It's hard to see how Nouns, again, can start these engagements. That's probably your best bet. Copy zipping in, trying to get full commitment from his team onto one target and just try to focus and barrel down onto that one hero. But even then, I mean, it takes him way too long to get that first play done. This nullifier buildup on Gunner will help. It will stop the 4 stabs. It will help Yuma just get that full static link he wants, maybe force out a BKB use, but and the steps to actually get relevance here is difficult for Nouns. You've got a full side of Vice in comparison, already up here for Nisha, more control to jump in, one really good piece of lockdown to set up the chain stunts onto Copy, so the Storm might not even get his BKB off now in the middle of all of his zipping around. And if the Storm can't zip into the back, then this game is pretty much dead in the water for the side of Nouns. It has to be the Copy show until the stall comes in.
Well, he tries for the BKB TP out, but again, Mickey's damage output at this stage is just too much. And that's without the alacrity. Once the alacrity's on, it's just way too overwhelming. Here we go. Top racks under siege. Nouns, they're fighting 4v5 here, and even if it was 5v5, I just don't think it would matter. Liquid, they're not backing off either. They want to keep going. Snipe the Vice out onto Yuma. He's going to be okay for now, though, as Copy does jump in and force them back just a little bit. But Liquid, looking to go for those T4 towers. They know there's literally nothing to be afraid of. Pit of Malice is out. Saberlight dropping it with his ultimate. Copy's going to try and jump in, and so will Yuma. Copy, though, taking so much damage, is forced to BKB and zip away. Yuma, however, not being so lucky, is forced off by his supports. But now the Ancient's completely exposed, and Liquid, they've got the GG call. That'll be game 1 to go the way of Team Liquid. As Nouns, I mean, they do try, Jonathan, one-sided, and there wasn't really too many kills happening and whatever else. Oh, it's this though. Our favorite, Jonathan. you see this all the time behind the scenes. Don't even act like you don't like it.
It's been a while, dude. It's been a while since I hummed this one. I even forgot. I forgot,
You aren't
It's been a while.
You're not playing
I'm
right
not playing.
I'll tell you.
You know what I am? I'm I'm electricity, Michael Phoenix. That's one I missed. There we go.
Lilith?
Yeah.
Lilith? Yeah. Oh no. He got too excited, John.
Ah, yes.
He wanted those right clicks. He got baited. Never chased Insania and the Ogre.
No. He got to hear a little bit of that electricity, you get hyped up. Or Slay. He was just feeling himself with Slay, Runs a little bit too far forward. And he did. Freebie for Liquid. Not a good tone for Nouns, unfortunately. But you're very chuffed on the side of Liquid. Mickey gets first blood once more. And, well, Nouns aren't going to be able to contest that well. I mean, they could still try, but I don't know if you really want to overcommit here.
Well, they're going to give it a crack. I mean, top lane could be where the fight breaks out. Fly gets a very nice cogs off. Boxy could find himself in a bit of danger. Bannerin finally picked up. Nice kickback from Nisha just in case. So nobody's going to die here on the side of Team Liquid. Nisha, of course, wants the level 1 boulder smash anyway, so it doesn't mind leveling that up at all. And while we're here, we'll start off with the mid lane, John. You're going to have the mid ES of Nisha against the mid Primal Beast of Copy. I would usually say this is a Primal Beast favored matchup, but you do have the added utility of kicking the Primal Beast away if he does go for the trample into the Earth Spirit. Thing is, though, even regarding just CS, like the Primal Beast will have an advantage.
And he should. Shouldn't be too rough for Copy, but again, the counterplay potential for Nisha should keep that aggression in check. Of course, Nisha, for his part, can always play a little bit further back and just boulder smash whenever things do get a little bit dicey. See if Copy can start to find some angles. And I feel like the big part here for Nouns is, again, potential support rotations, maybe at 4 minutes or 6 minutes for the Water Rune or the Power Rune first. That's where, you know, Clockwork plus Primal Beast can really shine. A cookie from your Snapfire onto the Primal Beast while he's diving in can help secure a kill. And for the side of Liquid, it's just a little bit less threatening when he supports Clump on top. Like, yeah, Disruption's nice. You can get the timing right to chain stun off of it, but it's not as instantaneously scary if the clock, in comparison to, say, a Clockwork being on top of the Primal Beast.
How's the bottom lane going? I mean, Insania and Mika, of course, against Gunnar and Lilith. Probably going to be another pretty decent lane for Mika. I can't imagine him having too much of a difficult time being able to just farm in this lane. And at the very least for Gunnar, he should have a bit of a better time, I'd argue, on this Beastmaster. But it still feels like this bottom lane could be a little bit of a challenge, especially when Insania hits level 2 and actually has some spells to throw out. Like, having that level 2 Ignite is going to be a little bit problematic here for Gunnar to try and deal with, I'm sure. And here we go. He's Gunnar's in trouble. Call me a prophet, John, because I see these things. I predict these things. Very easy.
Why are you acting like this is the hardest thing to read?
What do you mean?
It's Ogre Magi Gyrocopter into a Beastmaster lane where you go for the Beastmaster Wild Hunt facet. You're going to go for the summons. You're not going to go Axis. There's no threat.
Well, clearly Gunnar didn't predict it, Jonathan, because he died. So I think I deserve a bit of credit.
Sure. Well, I'll let this one go. You can have the credit for Gunnar making a bit of a blunder. All nice and good. Unfortunate for Gunnar. Not going to fix his issues in lane. Again, you're playing into Gyrocopter with summons, so eventually, and even early on, Mika is just going to be happy in that lane. No threat from Axis. The one lane that you can maybe play a little bit more here for Nouns is top, at least defensively for Yuma. It shouldn't be too rough for the Morphling. I say that, but Yuma's already slightly behind in terms of CS. You are getting a lot more out from Saberlight, and there is a threat, right? Like, Disruption into a Spearback is always something that the Morphling has to watch out for. He's not a very long-ranged range hero, so he can be within that danger zone quite fast. And you have to play mildly conservatively. Early aggression for a Clockwork Morph also isn't particularly amazing. Maybe you can start to consider it by level 4 to 5, but into level 3, it's really not too much to worry about here for the side of Liquid.
So let's miss a scatter blast into Mika. Not going to be feeling too good about that. Top lane, Yuma certainly having a bit of a slower time, like you mentioned already here, John. Saying you're going to lose a courier to Lilith, not too big of a deal. Still having a grand old time down at this bottom lane. This is just my big concern. Like, Mika is just finding too much farm again. And I don't see where the pressure is going to come from. It's top lane, Boxy will get cogsed up. Yuma's going to move in. Saberlight is ready to join in whenever. In fact, they do go for the disruption onto Yuma, but they mistime the speed. A rare mistake from Saberlight.
Yeah. It happens every now and again. You know, just warming up here for good old Saberlight. Everyone makes mistakes, right?
Not me, John. Never.
Tell that to Saberlight then. Show up. Hey, why'd you miss that, Saberlight? I wouldn't miss that. No?
I'll tell him. You know I'll tell him.
You should go to every pro player and say, hey, why'd you do this? I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be caught like that. Then they'll watch your replays and they'll be like, you instantly mute and block you on everything, Michael Phoenix. You will be discovered.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So Box is going to go for the full reset of the fountain. Gunner's in trouble again. Homing missiles chasing him down. They're not going to dive in, though. There is going to be a TP rotation. In fact, Mickey could have gone a bit too far because Copy is here now with the onslaught ready. They'll land the cookie. Mickey, how do you find yourself out of this one? The answer is you probably don't, though he is still running and he's getting that bonus movement speed with the afterburner, so maybe he finds a bit of space, but the scatter blast, it's available. Mickey trying to dodge, but it's not enough. Nice attempt at juking. Still, the chase is on once again as Insania looking to try and get within range of Gunner, but he did not have any mana to throw out the Ignite. Nisha, he did rotate on the Earth Spirit, but, well, again, without the Ignite being thrown out, he doesn't really have anything to follow up on. But he's still going to try, it seems.
Yeah, they have everything here outside of the Ogre Magi spells. Could look for something here, Nisha.
Well, they're going to see him. And that should be enough for Nisha to retreat, but he still wants to have a crack at this. He's going to find Lelis. Or rather, Lelis is going to find him. Pop the Magnetize immediately, just ensuring he can secure the kill with that bonus damage. Lelis, can he get the deny? Oh, he can. Very nice. Lelis denying everything away from Nisha here down to this bottom lane. In the meantime, Coffee was able to actually secure a nice easy pick off onto Boxy.
Yep, just clean movement across from nouns. A little bit of maybe overcommittal down bot, stemming from that overcommitment as well from Mike. They have managed to get some space out for Yuma to recover up top. Still a slower process for Morphling overall, but it's room where a one-on-one up against Amora is not too scary here for Yuma, although.
Save the line. Gonna get jumped now. Copy being ultra aggressive on this primal beast as soon as he hits the level 6 mark, and it's certainly paying off for the side of nouns. They'll find another kill. In fact, Boxy now even being jumped by Yuma. But they don't have the lockdown for him. Meanwhile, Nisha gonna show up, looking for a roll in. Doesn't really connect on either Fly or Yuma, and it seems like this is gonna be another failed gank attempt here for Nisha.
Just not panning out right now on the Earth Spirit. The timing's just slightly off. And you have to admire, again, how aggressive Copy is, like you pointed out. He hits 6, he's getting all of these rotations across. Even before he hit 6, he was showing down bot to get some punishment out. He knows what he has to do to kind of speed up the tempo of this game, because the Beastmaster is going to need Dominator into Overlord first. Your Morphling's going to need a lot of form. So it's really down to this Primal Beast to play faster. Just purely off the levels, purely off of that control you can provide. And just threaten with everything you have. He's just pounding off again.
Certainly is. Mid lane. Oh, they missed the roll. That's a bit unfortunate. The roll into the kickback does not really happen. They'll have a go at Lelis, but now Gunner's going to show up, and he actually doesn't have Roar available. Still level 5 on this Beastmaster, but he has shown up to try and help out. Insania will go down. Nisha, meanwhile, refreshing the Magnetize, but he's being chased by 4 heroes. He needs to find a nice roll angle out of here, but they're just completely blocking it off. He'll end up going down, but here comes Mickey! Oh boy, this could be a cleanup. Gunner gets out, Yuma gets left behind. Copy? Whoopsie daisies. That's alright, he's fine. It's efficiency, John. It's not a misclick, it's efficient.
I mean, they make it efficient. Could have ended much worse with a cleanup crew there, but very fortunate that there was a lack of stuns here for the side of Liquid, allowing a little bit of a retreat out from Nouns. Still, you're not too unhappy in Liquid. Again, you're getting early activity out from Mike. You're still set to go. Copy.
This time they're gonna land the roll. Copy does not have onslaught available right now. Was disrupted with the disruption. Copy trying to run. Roll is going to be there, but doesn't quite connect from Nisha, but he has a boulder smash in 2 seconds. That's all he needs. Pulverized, committed, but won't really matter. Boxy, in fact, will be the one to take the kill.
And again, all stemming back from this punishment out from Liquid. Still Saberlight.
They're going to try for Saberlight, but Nisha's right around the corner. In fact, he'll just happily jump in. That's 1 down already. Fly's a bit of a sitting duck here. No hookshot yet either, so no real way out of this, as Fly will hand over a high five to Saberlight. And, well, it seems like Liquid, I mean, they were off to a bit of a slower start here in Game 1, but they are certainly starting to take off.
That they are. A little bit optimistic from Nouns to try to get this kill with her sports. They're both still not at level 6. We talked about the potential for Snapfire and Clockwork to just instantly kill off heroes. They need at least the kisses up for that. Still.
Yeah, this is a bit of a problem for Copy. He had such a fantastic start, but now he is dead once again, and Fly has just TP'd in to try and help out. But Nisha, right on target with the roll, is going to ensure that they can even go after Fly. Has the kickback, will commit it, and Fly, well, yeah, he's playing +5, John. He needs to be there to try and help out, but he's going to be a secondary kill here for the side of Liquid.
He is. And they're all they're bleeding out now on nouns into exactly what Liquid wants to do, right? You're getting free space for Mika while all of this action happens. Your farming pace, even though, again, the Morphlings are relatively free as well to farm up, it's just slower on the Morph, right? So you could argue that this is space for Yuma, but it's not space that's as efficient as it is for the side of Liquid. They get access to an amp damage rune as well for Nisha, so that pressure will just keep going on onto that mid. Siege creep still up as well, although the creep wave has been dragged back, but they can clear this out, even dragging Mika in. Your defense here from Nouns, they're in the area, but again, no level 6 in the supports make this slightly awkward.
Are they going to protect the siege creep? No, they will not. Liquid will actually let the siege creep die. I mean, not that they really need it, in all fairness. They could probably just get away with just right-clicking this tier 1 tower, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Nisha's got an amp damage rune going as well, so you certainly don't really want to force the fight against this Earth Spirit at the moment, as we are going to see a quick pause out from Boxy. But it all seems like things are going the way of Liquid, as they now have a 5k net worth lead. And I'll tell you what, as an Earth Spirit player, Jonathan, when you get this kind of start, it's very hard to slow him down. This is going to be a very fun game for Nisha, I think.
And it is. Blade Mail already set to fly out as well. 11 minutes in with the power treads. Not too bad in timing. Not the quickest, but very much in the tempo that you'd want to see here for the side of Liquid. The side of Nouns now, again, it's all about recovery, right? Yeah, you still need more farm on Gunner. Still going for that Overlord. You still need Yuma to hit, what, Manta BKB into Phylactery, into the Kanda, which is a very long way away for our Morphling. The only hero that's still ready to play is Copy. I think the key thing for the next, the most instant set of time here for now is
Gunner.
just level 6 for supports if you can.
Gunner trying to commit the Raw to get out. Oh, the neutral creep! Even the neutral stunning up Saberlight here, trying to help Gunner out. In fact, it was Gunner's neutral. Never mind. I thought it was a random. Gunner? Well, he is going to at least find Saberlight. In fact, Gunner might actually find a way out of this as he tries for the TP, but no. The Fire Blast is there from Insania. They'll go after the Dominated Creep as well. They'll take that out. And with that, I mean, Liquid, I suppose probably not as happy seeing Saberlight die. Gunner probably will actually be happy with that trade, but still, they pick off the Beastmaster once again, and the timings of Gunner are just getting slower and slower, sadly.
And they are. I mean, it's still a net gain for Nouns. You end up gaining more, even though you die off there for Gunner. That's how rough this game is, of course. A 6k lead at 12.5 minutes. Not insignificant. Quite significant, actually, at this point in the game. And for the side of Liquid, I don't think you're going to care too much, even if Gunner dies. Again, Mika is having a free ride. Ag's timing still lined up to be nice and clean on this Gyrocopter. No contest whatsoever from Nouns. Some action mid.
They're going to try. Hookshot is there as well, really locking down Nisha, and they've got it. Very, very important pick off here for now. Something they desperately required. Saberlight unable to really get out there in time to help out. So now with the smoke out as well, Nouns, they want to keep this going. They've got 20 seconds without this Earth Spirit being alive. And they seem to have somewhat of an idea that Liquid may have started Roshan. And they have. It is, of course, going to be a bit of a slower Roshan, considering you don't have that many items yet on Mickey. And Nouns, this could be a prime opportunity for them to intervene, take the Roshan, and completely wipe the side of Liquid. Roshan still occurring. More TPs incoming now. Nisha joining his team as he will roll on towards Gunner, trying to maybe distract them from coming in. And in fact, Roshan's already gone. They're still going to try and move down. Meanwhile, it seems like they've caught Gunner here on the Beastmaster. Gunner probably going to die, and does. Meanwhile, Mickey still alive with the Aegis up. They'll disrupt him for now. Yuma trying to take him down. In fact, who? Well, what?
It's Boxy.
Boxy got the Aegis. Okay. I mean, it doesn't matter, I guess, but why did he take the Aegis, John?
I think it must have been a misclick. It must have been misclick. There's no way that's calculated. We're like, all right, we're gonna bait with Mika, and then Boxy, you're gonna clean up afterwards. No way you have that discussion right then.
Oh, we don't get this.
Yeah, he's just. He just picked it up. Like Roshan died, he must have been spam clicking or something, and then he just picked it up. It's like, all right. I guess maybe they were scared of being jumped. They had a scan earlier on. I mean, like you said, in the end, it doesn't seem to matter here for Liquid. But you might have been happier, you know, not losing Mika like that. It's still a decent enough gold swing. Like, despite losing 3 for 2, now it still gets 571 gold. It's something. It's some pocket change for them to help catch up here.
Yeah, I mean, why not? You like to see it. At least for Noun's end. Big smoke up now from Team Liquid. They're going to go as 4. Yuma's in the mid lane showing right now, so they know exactly where he's headed. Right into that dire triangle, and of course that's the primary target for them to try and focus down. He has no idea they're coming either. Sablelight's going to blink up, jumps in. Waveform was quick, but it was also very short. It's like Yuma was actually just trying his best to farm the Ancients faster, and but with that he does go down. As now the immediate TP's down towards the bottom lane where they do see Gunnar. They do not want to allow him to get away with this push for free. Gunnar immediately caught here by Sablelight. They are just not giving this man a break.
That they aren't. Gunnar does manage to find the objective at least, but not enough to compensate. Again, it's some space. It would be space if Yuma didn't die earlier on in the triangle. And Liquid, they're really working this aggression, making up for, again, a very slow game 1. Now we're at 16-8. Much more kills at 16 minutes in the entirety of that game number 1. And they aren't set to drop this tempo. Again, there's no reason to. You don't have long cooldown spells. You can keep running and gunning. Nouns are just not ready to counteract anything here.
Maybe they could find Mike, but the Sablelight's right around the corner. In fact, Nisha's jumped in. Nouns are the ones actually being hunted. Lelis will go down immediately, and in fact, they found another. Boxy's got a disruption onto Fly, so it's going to be both the support duo. Going down very quickly is Boxy now on a mega kill streak on the Shadow Demon, and the net worth graph, it just continues to go the way of Liquid. It is not getting any better with time for Nouns, and they really don't have much of a saving grace right now. Like their highest net worth hero is the Primal Beast, and Copy, he really can't get involved without the BKB up anymore. So he's just got to play a passive game until the BKB's up, and well, hell, even then they're still relatively far behind in net worth. Speaking of Copy,
still on the hunt as well.
They've got him.
Oh no.
Copy, he tried the onslaught. It was cancelled immediately by Boxy. And so Copy has absolutely zero chance of getting out of that now.
Dire's top tower is under
Not that he would have anyway against this Earth Spirit, to be fair, but you know, gave himself zero chance.
Yeah, timing's just not lining up. Again, this aggression looks Sablelight just going.
Yeah, it's Mars for Sablelight. You know, this man knows his hero like the back of his hand. Nisha's going to jump in on Gunnar. Raw is committed into the kisses, so you are doing a lot of damage here, but disruption does come out from Boxy, saving the life of Nisha for now, though Nisha does eventually go down. It's a good start here for Nouns. They'll even find Boxy. Boxy giving quite a lot of gold back the way of Yuma. The Sablelight's jumped in, but misses the spear now. Sablelight, he might go down a boot. And he does. Yuma now seeing the opening. He wants a bit more. Gets into that Earth Spirit form, starts rolling away. Insania trying his best to just hide in the tree line. Will eventually show himself, and Yuma naturally will go for the chase once again. But it seems like Insania may actually just be able to get out of range, but no, Copy's got him. Pulverize out. And suddenly Nouns find a 4-man wipe and find I think it was a 4K gold swing their way.
Yeah, just about that much. A little bit messy from the side of Liquid. And we saw all of that stemming from Sablelight just getting hyper aggressive, wanting to find that quick kill on Fly and not respecting that they're deep in the triangle. They didn't have forward vision onto that cliff spot yet, and they just kind of overcommit on the side of Liquid while taking quite a bit of time for Mika to get in that position and try to dish the damage out, as he has been in some of these more prolonged fights. Good punishment out from Nouns, keeping them in the game. You can see just how strong this Morphling in Earth Spirit form can be if he's allowed to do so and if you can't focus him down. And Nouns, I mean, it's not enough to really fully recover, but they are still in the game for sure. Scan's good, but oh, Sablelight? No, not gonna walk back. All right.
He's all right. It seems like Liquid might just slow down the pace of the game just a little bit after that last 4-man wipe they just experienced. I mean, Mike is still free farming completely. As mid lane Copy, I say slow down. They've already found another Primal Beast kill, it looks like, as Copy has no onslaught to commit. Still the recipe away from the BKB as well on this Primal Beast, so life is very hard right now for Copy. And it's going to get harder too, because Mike, he's getting a bit too big here, John. This Gyrocopter, well and truly online, going for an SMY next. Not even rushing the Daedalus here, not even working towards a BKB, in fact. I mean, in fairness to Mike, there is a lot of BKB piercing spells here, so maybe just doesn't see the point of it all.
Yeah,
but I mean, he's still a massive problem.
And he is. And with the Sanjin Yasha, that forces Pulverize to be onto the Gyrocopter, which might not be feasible every single time, having to throw in your Primal Beast into the firing line, right? Like, Pulverize will ignore stat res, but can you really hope to just charge in his Copy and hope the backup is clean enough? It's a tough call for Copy to kind of try to get that commitment out. Smoke out from Liquid, still on the hunt, still nothing to wait for. Another amp damage rune here for Nisha, if they can find an angle in.
Oh, gonna be left behind. He does have a TP to play with, but it's gonna be very hard to commit it against Nisha's ES. And, well, they get the roll perfect, of course. And poor old Gunnar gonna have to experience another death on this Beastmaster. The rest of his team was just trying to secure the Tormentor for themselves while they still could. The thing is as well, we're about to find out when, in about 30 seconds, we're gonna find out when Roshan is about to respawn. So, seems like Liquid probably setting up for the next Roshan attempt already. Everything just going according to plan. It's very methodical with Liquid. You know, they don't tend to make too many errors.
That it is. Just very clean gameplay overall, outside of that triangle fight where they get a little bit over-eager. And, well, you know, I guess Boxy getting Aegis, if that wasn't part of their grand scheme. And to be fair, you know, Boxy's 7-2-10, most kills on his team right now. Could have been all according to plan. You know, maybe they have some sort of a special rule. When Boxy has the most kills, he gets Aegis, no matter what. That's why he has the shades on. He's the boss. Mike, that's the real reason. He gets
It'd be good if he just take the second one. Do it, Boxy. let Mickey have the Roshan, you know. Let him have the Roshan.
If he does it the second time, I mean, that is just, all right. He gets to wear the shades for life. Even when it's pitch black outside, I don't want to see Boxy taking off his shades whatsoever. Never again.
I don't think he does.
Leave them on.
I don't think he does. Not even during the night time.
Darker tints then. Darker tints at night.
Group up from Liquid. Roshan up in 20 seconds. It seems like they are trying to hunt for a kill, but they could also just go straight to the Roshan pit if they really want. Because they are up against the clockwork, which does make life a little bit challenging to try and sneak Roshan. They haven't quite found a target yet either, as the side of Nouns, they're hanging around the bottom side of the map. You do have Yuma, who is in the dyed triangle at the moment, and he is actually by himself. Like, Yuma may get caught here. They're actually quite close to finding this Morphling. But he will get back towards his team. So 5v5 now. Sable out in the front lines, looking for a big arena. Jumps into the tree line. We'll find Fly, and Fly gets caught immediately in that arena. That'll be your Pos 5 Clockwork getting deleted as he tries to hook shot away, but it's not going to work. Meanwhile, Nisha towards the north went in by himself, but he's been deleted. Yuma takes care of it. They found the mid-ES. It's a good fight so far for now.
And it is. Your net worth lead from Liquid just gets deleted down to 2k. Right before that fight, it's around 4k. So you're slowly losing space. They were able to farm up efficiently on Nouns while all of that's happening. And now they've got this BKB up on Copy. He's free to just hold his ground and Pulverize with no care in the world. If you use your disruption too early here on Boxy, you'll have a lot of windows open for now, and just try to keep that single target control and burst on hand.
Oh boy, they're on the high ground of that between gates. Sablehead is spotted, of course, by that ancient creep that Gunnar is controlling. Oh, the spear is out. Yuma! Oh. Yuma's been caught. He'll still get away from away. Copy was the one to jump in to ensure he had the time, and now the Roar does come out towards Saberlight. Mika, he's going to pop the BKB and try to fight through this, but he's copying a lot of damage here on the gyro, and he is gone. Oh, Liquid. They've lost their carry. They'll keep the fight going with Nisha. Nisha doing a hell of a lot of damage with all these magnetized refreshes. Looking for Yuma. He's found the Morphling. Nisha takes him down. Nisha's the real carry now. Copy. He'll also fall. It's a double kill for Nisha. Gunnar also being chased by Boxy. Meanwhile, Lella's trying to get away from this Earth Spirit, but it's no good. He's been found out again. Still jukes out the rolls though. If it goes for a TP play out, but it's not enough. So you lose your Gyrocopter, but Nisha, he just takes down 3 of them by himself.
Yeah, Nisha's working overtime to get these fights in a good position. A little bit awkward, lots of back and forth there. That is the BKB reveal out from Copy. A little bit awkward as well from the spell usage of Nouns. They get the Pulverize, they miss out the hook shot. In the middle of that, they managed to get the commitment, but nothing's left for the follow through because they were going all in onto one target all at once. And that should open now the Roshan for the side of the Liquid. And should have Mika working his way in there. Rocket Flare will scout out at least on Nouns, and they do have Hookshot ready to go. Roar back up. No long cooldowns for Nouns either, so they could try to force this one.
Nouns certainly not looking to let Roshan go for free, that's for sure. Smoke is out there having a look around. Yuma just picked up his BKB as well, so it's pretty good timing for this Roshan fight for Nouns. BKB reveal could be all the difference that's required here for Nouns to take this fight against Liquid. A nice scan though, going to catch Gunnar in the tree line, so they know somebody's hanging about. Again, Roshan is still available for either side to take. But Nouns not really finding a target they can prioritize quite yet, so instead they'll turn towards the Roshan pit and just try and control that area. Get those wards down while you still can. Meanwhile, Liquid looking to perhaps go for a 5-man smoke, and now they will. Roshan has been started by Gunnar. Yuma will also jump in, but Liquid, they are on the way. Keep in mind, you're fighting against the Mars, so this small area could be very awkward to try and fight in. Fly's gonna cogs up the Mars. They are still focusing Roshan down, trying to take it before Liquid can get there, but Sableye runs right in. The Roshan, Insania, he's in as well, but Yuma, he's got the Aegis up. The Morphling has picked it. As Gunnar dropping pretty low, still alive, but the Magnetize doing so much damage to poor old Gunnar. He'll survive right on the edge of the Roshan pit as they'll find Nisha on the Earth Spirit, but Gunnar does also go down, and so does Yuma. But that was just the Aegis. Copy, in the meantime, runs right in, but he runs right into Mickey. Not quite the target you wanted. As Yuma, he'll happily take that bet, but Yuma now being stunned up by Insania, taking a fair bit of damage. Will keep the fight going, but the rest of his team has disappeared. So Yuma's gonna do it all on his lonesome. He'll waveform through the Roshan pit, but I just don't see a way of him getting out of this one. Yuma will have to drop. And Roshan Banner's still in the pit as well. So Liquid, they at least get a consolation prize with the Roshan Banner.
And that's actually a pretty big deal. Again, the threat onto the high ground, even without Aegis, is kind of palpable now coming in from Liquid. And that's them taking that fight on Mike without the full BKB being accomplished just yet. Gets finished at the end of the fight. And a little bit messy from Nouns. Like, they don't find that smoke that they'd want. They get to sneak into the Roshan. Yes. They get a pretty decent start from Fly, all things considered, right? Like, they trap Saberlight in. They know the position of the Mars. They held back the arena longer, and that does allow the Aegis swipe there for Yuma. But the follow through, again, it's just massive committal onto one. And that's the one issue with Nouns team fight. It's all single target. So if you end up popping off these single target spells onto one hero, and in this case it was Nisha, how do you deal with everyone else? It's a very difficult move to make in trying to pin down and try to burst down a tanky Mars at this point. A very slippery Gyrocopter with a lot of supporting elements around him. And it's a tough call for Nouns, right? It's very hard to see past the next moves you have to take when there's so much pressure to just try to kill off that very mobile Earth Spirit, but you need to kind of space out these spells to have them onto multiple heroes if you can burst them down within at least one spell committal per kill for Nouns.
Maybe a bit of action to break out bottom. It seems like they did split out Nisha and Insania for a second, but Nouns are going to back off. Of course, these highlights go forever. It was a very long fight. For old Yuma getting left behind at the end. Not going to feel very good for him, but is what it is. You know, sometimes your team's just gonna have to get the hell out of there while they still can. Bottom lane, it's like Liquid has grouped up once again. Line's being drawn right towards Yuma, who is hanging about in the dire triangle. Though he will leave back towards his team. Liquid well and truly seem to just want to fight at this stage. You do now have the 9-second BKB charge up on Mickey, so he's probably feeling pretty confident to just stand his ground throughout these fights now. Even with those BKB piercing spells, it is still going to provide him with a lot of defense in this next big fight. And you are getting, of course, the stage where the Daedalus is coming up, and that's when things get ultra problematic against the Gyro. Because Yuma, like, while Yuma is doing a fair bit of damage on the Morphling, I just don't think it's going to compare when the Daedalus is up.
Certainly not. At the least, Yuma's also going for Daedalus, so he's not going for the usual Conda build-up. Instead of poking and prodding, he does want to commit fully with, say, the Gyro form or the Earth Spirit form if he can. Liquid already onto the high ground. Again, nice slow pokes from Mike, forcing out that early Fortify usage. There's still a bunch of tier 2s here as well, so they can just go back and clean those up after forcing that onto the tier 3. And for now, again, options aren't quite there. You're working on a BKB for Gunner, you're working on your own Sanj Yasha here for copy for that stat res. Again, Daedalus for Yuma. But it does feel like you maybe want to blink on someone here. Maybe Gunner if you could afford it. We'll see down the line. There's that Daedalus up, and a quick smoke out from Liquid, looking for a flank up top, but Nouns does get a good read on that. At least get everyone out in the nick of time.
I mean, it's all about the avoid game for Nouns for now, I think. Especially just letting Yuma have the time to get that Daedalus up for himself. Probably going to prove to be extremely important for them to take the next fight. Of course, Mickey now looking towards the Satanic build-up, which is pretty standard when it comes to Gyrocopter Pos 1. Nouns, they are hanging about the mid lane, seeing if they can find themselves a target, and Mickey is going to actually show with their homing missile throw out onto Copy. Copy actually copying the stun. It looks like they want to try and move in. Get Mickey a little bit intimidating. Still has the BKB ready whenever. Has Boxy right behind him with the disruption. And Liquid, they think better of it. They'll just go up top lane instead. There's still another tier 2 tower up there, so they'll go ahead and deal with that. And it's going to be up to Nouns as to whether they want to try and force the fight up at that top lane. But it seems like they probably won't.
No. Just have to concede the map space out. Nouns just, again, hold back, try to get that build up. Finish your own Daedalus on Yuma. And a BKB on Gunner. Again, it feels like they need to have a steadier way to jump in. Like, Onslaught Hookshot is pretty nice, but being able to get this Beastmaster in position to, say, look for that roar, if they need it onto a target after the Pulverize, or just leading into the next target afterwards, does feel like the way to play it. No fort for this defense, as again, forced out on the bot siege from Mike. And Liquid might just find a freebie. Full Sight of Vice now as well for Saberlight to start these fights off. Just getting harder here for now.
BKB now up on Gunner to boot. And Liquid do quite literally just take a free tier 3 tower. There was just absolutely zero defense, and now they're waiting to see if somebody comes out to try and take a creep wave, but nobody will do so. So Liquid back once again into the mid tier 2 tower, where they still have one outer objective left. You are going to be approaching the time as well where Roshan might respawn in a minute and a half. So Liquid, they could just afford to take a tier 2 tower and wait out the next Roshan, because it is coming up relatively soon. And Nouns seem like the ones that need to find a way to win a fight and go into Roshan themselves. Gunner's gonna see Mickey. They do have vision in this dire triangle, so they'd love to fight around this area. Roshan better dropped on the high ground. Okay. Nisha gonna jump in. Hookshot is out onto Mickey. Mickey just gonna man up with his BKB. Meanwhile, Yuma looking to maybe back off, but does go for the fight. Raw committed from Gunner, but Disruption will save Mickey, so no damage being dealt as Yuma's been silenced up, and he might just die. Oh, and he does. Flies brought back, but it's too late. They've already lost their Morphling. Copy will go down a boot. Why did they place the Roshan banner on the high ground? What's with that? What's Liquid doing, John? What's Boxy doing?
It's one of the many questions of this game. Why did Boxy get Aegis? Why did he plant Roche banner on the high ground? You know, it's something we can maybe ask in an interview, Mike. You know, they can answer it themselves. They're big guys. They're all grown up. They're adults. They know what they're doing. Surely. I don't know if they were trying to use that to scout with a sentry on the low ground. I didn't even notice anything like that. I don't know if it gives you enough vision anyhow. I don't think it does. So maybe that's the idea. Otherwise, they just wanted to quickly free up inventory space, perhaps? Or send a message. I mean, we saw Roche banner outside of Roshan before, right? Feels like some teams just kind of like, we don't need this. Just plant it here. Send a message.
You're probably right, honestly. You're probably right.
You know, it's scary when you say I'm right, Mike. It's very scary when you say I'm right.
Well, in fairness, I did say you're probably right. You know, I leave room for
cover your
reasonable
bases.
doubt.
Yeah. They're very lawyer-like of you, Michael Phoenix.
Oh, don't go that far, John. I have some standards, you know. Not too many, but some. Enough.
Yeah, some might be enough. Let's see here. Nouns. We'll need some standards to meet for that next fight. All things considered, it's been a little bit rough for them coming in. Still waiting for that Daedalus on Yuma. You've got the AC being lined up for Gunner, so all in on durability and trying to get some aura play into the picture. It's actually Copy opting for the blink. And again, that will give them a nice way to jump in, but Roche already been taken quite fast. Now it's our smoke, but they're not getting there in time for sure. So Roche is going for free for Liquid. And Mika gets it. Give it to Boxy.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, I thought Boxy would just take priority, but no. Bit embarrassing, really, isn't it?
Yeah. No, they're definitely gonna get it in the interview if ever they win. Yeah. Why didn't you give Boxy? And we don't ask him why Boxy took it. It's like, why didn't you give Boxy to Roshan?
Here we go. Now they're trying to move in from the back, but a quick BKB from Sableye right into the Hex onto Copy. He'll get his BKB off eventually, but he's already lost half his HP. This is not the fight Nouns wanted to start off with. Gunner's also been spotted. Call down dropping right on top of his head as Yuma's going to try and help him out, but does he actually have enough damage here on this Morphling? He's trying to map by Mickey, but he's doing no damage. There's no damage. Yuma, all he can do is run and hope for the best, but he is not getting anywhere. Copy will not make it out either. And another Roshan banner on the high ground.
I do think it does provide vision, so it is really as a high HP ward.
Okay. GG.
Oh man, that was a game.